Good afternoon. So yesterday night I only took samples from 3 paintings, even though the process is not that difficult actually. But I I wanted it to be like much more rigorous than usual, because usually I do not work like in as it should, according to the sound laboratory practices, because I have a small room and everything is is a mess, and it was also like that in my mother's apartment, and it's difficult. But now it's more important than ever, because we actually wanted to prove and to show you something that is, first of all, it's rather it's kind of like a new thing. It's for me, for some of the viewers it's not, because they actually tested it themselves, but that that the paintings are used as containers, and seems we need to, let's not jump to conclusion, but from the small samples that I've taken, it seems that acrylic is actually even better than oil, which is surprising, and not really. I don't really understand it, but we need more samples actually to see what's going on exactly. But both are actually good mediums. It is surprising because acrylic is so hard. But maybe they don't have problem with hard a material. Again, we've seen them working very well inside silicone chunks that are pretty. When they are out of the tube, they are kind of flexible, but pretty quickly it becomes very solid. And also, of course, I want to sell those paintings, so it's kind of like a proof of I don't know, authenticity, but also that it's actually can be used for scientific study, or, as I said, there is I guess there is kind of an option to actually consume it, but it seems to me I don't understand the science behind it, and I think that it's maybe very irresponsible to eat something that it's one thing to conduct experiments, or to try to create new manufacturing processes using a new material, or a new, I would say, a kind of machine, and it's a whole different thing to actually eat this thing. I guess it's kind of trivial. So what I will do this weekend is that I will actually create I'll do the same procedure that I have had with the three painting, but with at least 10 more, because when you actually get used to it, it's much easier. It's not that complicated. It's just you need to take care that everything is done very rigorously, so there will not be cross-contamination, which is. And now it's much easier because I only use new slides from the box, and new covers, so it shouldn't be shortage of slides. So I will. As I said, I'll take samples of the crosses, and also the Venus bonded paintings, and the one with my handprints. And perhaps and also the other German flag and the other Chinese flag, and maybe we will add I don't know, maybe the Russian. I have several Russian flags and American flags actually. One American flag made of oil is actually, according to my very biased evaluation, is actually very artistically done. I kind of like it. For artistic reasons. Not because I like the United States, as you know. Just, I think it was done very nicely. So maybe I'll test it as well. And it was also hanged for a pretty long time, in my mother's balcony. So for certainly it was subjected to electricity. the text slash charging, however you want to look at it. So there are actually, I mean, there is two series of paintings that I actually very, very like, and so much that I feel like, I mean, almost like I don't want to sell it. I mean, but I mean, I should, because I mean, the purpose of the painting is, as I said, to be like disseminated, like, I mean, to be, I mean, disseminated, like, I mean, to go like all over the place. I mean, because they should be used as, first of all, as a testimony for my existence, which is not trivial at all. And as you understand, the Israelis always want to just, I mean, at least have the, if not actually like in practice do it, but at least, I mean, have the option, like the ability to erase me from record, which is a terrible idea, but a terrible thought. But I mean, it's certain. I mean, you understand that it's always there, like the option. So I mean, the two series that I speak about are the one that I call that, I mean, closing the gates, and like, I mean, and that's like, I mean, it's like, I mean, you see, there's like, I mean, kind of like a satanic figure inside, like, kind of like, I mean, an abstract gate, like, I mean, like kind of like a hall, like, I mean, kind of like a dimensional hall. And this is actually a motive that like, this is very recurring motive in my art. Like, I mean, the first one was done very like early, like maybe as early as March 2020, and I'm still doing, I mean, up to like, I mean, when I'm not painting, but I mean, until like I stopped, like, I mean, this was something that I always, I mean, I had several of these because it was a recurring like motive, the closing of the gates, and there are actually several of these that I really like. So maybe I'll test one or two of these and also put them to sell, even though I really like them actually. And another series, which is very closely related actually, at least visually it's closely related, but it's very interesting from our perspective of like, of the paintings and containers. And this is the series that I call The Rule of Satan, and it was also like in display in the balcony, and like it's part of the series of the courses, although the closing of the gates, but also The Rule of Satan. So The Rule of Satan is kind of similar, because it exhibits, like, I mean, also very similar. I mean, the satanic, like, I mean, with the horn, the horn creature, like the satanic creature. But these ones are a lot. I mean, you don't like have the element of the gate, at least not very, like, I mean, explicitly. But I mean, what's interesting, I mean, in this series, they were done with very, very heavy layers of acrylic, actually, like very, very heavy. They are like almost like sculptures. You can you can touch the painting. I mean, it's like, it's very deep layer. I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, and part of it is actually sculptured, like, I mean, in the acrylic layers. They are the heaviest paintings that I have, like, I mean, because of the acrylic layers are so thick, and they were also, I mean, like hanged like in this balcony, so they're subjected to electricity. So I mean, potentially they could, I mean, they might like contain, I mean, the largest amount of like both Neros and all sorts of like life forms than all of the paintings, because of, I mean, just so much material, like, I mean, thick material. It's called The Rule of Satan. So maybe I'll actually test one of these. It's very, very interesting to see, I mean, what's inside it. Like, because it's so thick, I mean, you can take like something like from deep under, which is presumably protected like from air and like from other, like, I mean, things that other paintings are, I mean, that the surfaces of other paintings are, I mean, naturally exposed to. But in The Rule of Satan, like paintings, I mean, there might be like very deep non-exposed layers. So maybe I'll also test one of these and also put it to sell. There are also there is so I mean, one of the series that I really liked, that I spoke about quite a bit, is the LavaTube series. This is also something that accompanied me for a long time, like since the beginning. I had, since March 2022, and I came back to it, actually, I left the subject, and like during about August or September, 2023, I returned to this subject, and now with I've created much more elaborate oil paintings of the lava tubes. I'm not. They are mostly black and white, sometimes with like shades of like blue or Gris de Pain. Gris de Pain is like, it's kind of like it's kind of like a bluish shade of black. So it's usually black and white shades with Gris de Pain. Sometimes with there's another like a shade which is called Titanic Buff or something like that, which is kind of like close to pearl, like, so also that. But usually it's like black and white with Gris de Pain. So there are several of these, of the lava tubes, and I actually think that they're really nice ones, from like artistic point of view, I would say. So maybe I will present, also one of these for sale, but I need to think about it. Of course, we have many other flags of the Russian Federation, as I said, American flags, quite a bit of the Union Jacks. Actually, I think that the Union Jacks is the ones they have the most. At least 4, if not even 5. But actually, I would say, I would admit that the prettiest ones were actually destroyed. Not all paintings actually survived, because of all sorts of reasons. And you know, I'm like a nomad, and I always move, and so much like adventures in the bad sense of the word. So unfortunately, I think that the best Union Jacks actually were destroyed. There were some pretty artistic ones, but I admit it. But still, there are still several, both oil and acrylic ones. And you might find them lovely. I don't know. We have French flags. And also one Brazilian flag, which is artistically interesting, but it's a combination of acrylic and oil. It's actually very interesting, and many others. But the great, I'm not going to inspect all of them. Like as I said, 5, 6, or 10 at most, and put it to sell and to see, how it goes. And also there is a question of like the clay sculptures. So I can, if there is interest, I can actually resume this like habit of creating clay sculptures from from cement and toilet paper. It's not that difficult, even though it's actually, it started out like very simple, the most simple way to actually preserve them, but with time actually it became like an art in itself. And I actually developed all sorts of techniques, and how to create the eggs. Maybe some of you inspected the eggs, so there's the gray snake is, the eggs are they look like they are cracking, there is like something is going to be to get out of it. So this of course is kind of artistic effect, and so it is. It was like a technique of how to do it, in a way that it's still sealed. It's completely sealed, but it's done by several layers of different types of clay that is dries in different layers of drying. So So it looks like with all the cracks, like that something is supposedly going out any moment, but it's actually sealed. And inside the frost there is like the nanobots and the paper. So if you want, I mean, if you think, I mean, if you want to buy those stuff, I have no problem like in creating more eggs like from toilet paper with semen, and actually I have like maybe 10 samples right now that I stored like in nylon, so no problem to create like eggs out of it or any other sculpture. What I would do now that I didn't do before is probably not wrap it in nylon or aluminum foil, but instead wrap like the paper in actually acrylic paint, and then wait until it's like it dries, and then cover it with clay, because now I know something that I didn't know then, that actually the Neros are living fun in acrylic. I didn't know it back in the day. Like this is something new and important. So that's why they will be like, I mean, they have both acrylic and the clay, like to do whatever they want in it. So I mean, I can produce those as well. I just need to buy clay, but fortunately clay is very cheap. Among all the materials, it's even like synthetic, which is much more expensive than natural, is not that expensive, even from like a penniless person like me. So that's the agenda for now.